Manchester City play West Ham on the last day of August on Saturday. So now let's go through this here, through the game and what we might expect. And as you can see, I've got my predicted starting 11 coming up from the average starting 11 throughout the season. But this is not the starting 11 we'll be expecting in the West Ham game. Normally I prepared my starting 11s from what I expected to see in the game itself. Let me tell you why I didn't do that today. And Rodri is important for that. I think Savio, Foden and Haaland all play a part into that as well too. So, Rodri, still not back training. Now if you actually go over to the fixtures of Manchester City, you can see Man City plays West Ham, then there is no game until the 14th of September. That is because there is an international break coming up. So Rodri has not trained yet with the team, and I don't think he will be training until after the international break. So Rodri, he's out of the team, but I think he comes back in after the international break. He probably plays against Brentford and then against Arsenal. So, who do we have instead of Rodri? Well, it can only be two players, but we'll talk a bit more about that in a bit. It's gonna be either one of these. Now, Foden, very similar case to Rodri in my opinion. He has not been playing a lot of minutes. He was sick recently, I think he was just ill. I don't think it was anything major, but he was sick. So he will probably be training again and playing again after the international break. So Foden, I think you're coming out. Now, who do we put in Foden's position if Foden is not there? You can play Gundogan there. That could work. You can play Silva there. But I will talk about Silva in a bit because we have a Savio there. So Gundogan slots right in and you can have Gundogan, Kovacic together in this midfield. Lovely. Now, I'll talk about the back line at the last, by the way, because this is not the back four I'm expecting. Because this West Ham game, I think we might be starting to see Walker come back here. We might see Walker play again, but I'm not sure about that. I'll talk about that when we get there. Now, Savio. Obviously, Savio, I just said, Bernardo Silva is probably playing here. Why is that? This West Ham game is going to be a bit tougher. It's not the same as playing Ipswich, and West Ham have a very scary player in the name of Mohamed Kudus. You're expecting a winger that can drop deep, that can defend well, to play when you have players that you're scared of on the pitch. This is going to be a game that asks for more experience. So either Savio or Doku are going to have to fall out. Now, who is the Savio backup? Well, this guy, but he's injured, so let's not talk about him. Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva, you can play him on the right. Okay, perfect, fine, this works. Now, why don't you take Doku off? Because Grealish has also not been playing much minutes yet, and he might as well come into the team again after the international break. So Grealish, who will be the Doku backup, is probably not playing until after the international break. So that is why I think Doku starts and Savio comes off. And you don't want to have both Grealish and Bernardo Silva on the pitch in my opinion, because then you take off the pace. Either Savio or Doku. Not both, not neither. You need to have one of the two on there. Then Haaland. Well, Haaland is a bit interesting because we don't have a Haaland backup. But there was interesting news about Matheus Nunes. And I realized just now I don't even have him in here. So I don't know what color or what number Nunes is for us. So here we go. There was some interesting news about Nunes playing some more minutes for Man City this season. That he could be a part of the first team according to Pep Guardiola. Will we see Haaland get a bit of a rest? I'm not sure. But who do we rest Haaland for? We haven't bought a striker. tomorrow is the deadline day of the transfer window. We have less than 48 hours left to get a striker. Are we looking at a striker? Or will we play Matheus Nunes as the striker? Now this might seem a bit mental, right? Nunes is not a striker. What are you on? Is he not? Because what is Matheus Nunes good at? He drives forwards with the ball. He can shoot a ball. He can track a ball. His link-up play is decent. And he's physical. Okay. What is he not good at? Quick passing. And taking on players on the dribble. That's not really his excellency. What do we ask of our midfielders at Man City? We ask them to pass quickly, to move around with the ball, to dribble past the players occasionally, maybe not consistently, but occasionally. And we pretty much ask of our midfielders to be technical, not physical. What we want from our striker, Erling Haaland, is put the ball in the back of the net, be physical, be strong, drive the ball forwards unaccounted if you can. Matheus Nunes, now this is a bit of a mad shout. Tell me your opinions down below what you think about this, yeah? Matheus Nunes, purely looking at the profile. Never mind the instinct or anything like that, because we don't know what his in-the-box instinct is. Purely looking at the profile, he does kind of make sense, doesn't he? He does kind of make sense as a Haaland backup. Now, whether he has the experience and stuff that we need for a backup striker, that is a different question. But we won't know that until we see Nunes actually play in that position. So if Haaland is getting any rest this season and we don't buy a backup striker, that rest might be coming from Matheus Nunes. Now, I don't know if Haaland is actually going to be rested in this West Ham game though, because I think this West Ham game is quite a difficult one. So we might see Nunes come on as a substitute to maybe play those minutes for Haaland, but I really think Haaland starts. So that was an interesting side note, I suppose. Then Ederson probably in goal, maybe Ortega. I mean, I really don't care who's in goal for us. They're both great. Now, the back line, the back four. You can really play a lot with this, but this West Ham game, it's a bit of a bigger game. Rico Lewis, with what he did in the game against Ipswich, I think he should be dropped for that. Because let's be honest, he played a really good game against Ipswich, and he was responsible for the goal against Ipswich, like the goal we conceded. I think if you drop a performance like that, you can hype it up all you want here. If Kyle Walker had the same performance, people would be talking about him being out of the club. Rico Lewis is way too protected because he is Mank. I'm not saying he played bad. He didn't play bad. But I don't want to see somebody making those type of mistakes play against West Ham. Then again, Kyle Walker is not much better, is he? So we can really see this formation being played with. Maybe we have Akanji down the right, and Diaz, and then maybe Ake slotting in as a either centre back or left back. Or maybe Gvardiol is dropped, we have Ake, I don't know, Walker, Akanji. This back four can be completely played with. But what I want to talk about is how little it matters what back four we actually use. And let me explain myself here as I bring all our defenders onto the pitch. Rico Lewis and Kyle Walker. We have two right backs, plus a centre back who can play as a right back. Then John Stones and Ruben Diaz. We have two pure centre backs, plus two centre backs who can play as left backs. The amount of depth we have in our defense makes it really difficult for me to talk about, oh yeah, we're gonna do this or we're gonna do that, with our defenders. It's really difficult to predict. Sure, in some games where you want to play more defensive football, I think we see Ake return to the team. Ake is our most solid, that doesn't mean best, he's our most solid defender. And what I mean by that is, well, if you play chess, right, if you're playing against someone who is better than you, you just try to be solid and you try to force them into a mistake. Man City doesn't really have teams that you are worse than, but sometimes you're playing worse and then you want to just be solid and make your opponent struggle, have them make a mistake, and then get back into the game. If you want to do that, you're probably seeing Ake play a lot more, you're seeing Diaz play. You probably see Stones and either Walker, Lewis, or Akanji on this right hand side. If you want to go forwards, go straight at it, you want to be in somebody's box, you want Guardiola to play, you want Walker to play, Lewis to play, you want Akanji and Diaz to play. Here is the problem. That works against West Ham, that works against Ipswich, that works against pretty much everyone. Does it work against Arsenal? I don't think so. Okay, so you play Walker against Arsenal, just fine, no worries. So you're just gonna drop him in against Arsenal. No games before Arsenal. You're just gonna say, Walker, you're up, and he's gonna have to play against Arsenal. He doesn't get any minutes before then. That doesn't seem like a good idea. So that is why it's quite difficult here to predict what we're going to do. It's very early on into the season, so I'm not quite sure that's what Pep has thought up here. Especially with Oscar Bob injured, because Bob was going to be a major part of this season, and now he's not a part of this season. Let me actually look up what Matheus Nunes' number is, because it's annoying me. Matheus Nunes, there we go. What is your number? What is your number? Because it's annoying me. Let's say that somewhere. I'll go to this Man City squad. It is actually annoying me. What is your number? 27. Okay. There you go. 27. Oh, 27. Anyhow, yeah. So tell me what you think, what you expect here from a back four. I'll make a bit of a, I suppose, guess here. And I'll go Ake, Diaz, probably Stones, get him some minutes, but Stones might not play until after summer break, international break. So Stones or Akanji, either or, and then probably Kyle Walker getting some minutes here. This is what I predict. And of course, this 4-3-3 is not really a 4-3-3. We have somebody stepping up to form a box midfield. But the emphasis is on the back four here. That's why I lined them up as a 4-3-3. So, with that said, that is my prediction here for how we will play against West Ham. We'll have to be a bit more cautious. We'll have to think about the players that won't be playing. But we should win. I reckon probably a goal from Haaland, because Haaland looks like he's on form. He looks like he's ready to go at it. Maybe we see a substitution there from Savio or something like that. Grealish maybe, or Doku. We'll see. But I reckon that a substitute will score. Just to be zesty here with my predictions. So I'll go 3-1. 3 goals to Man City, 1 to West Ham. The goal scorers will be Haaland, a substitute, and well, I haven't talked much about De Bruyne, so let me throw in De Bruyne there just for flavor. I really haven't talked a lot about De Bruyne. Should have talked about him a bit more, but tell me what you guys expect from De Bruyne. I do expect him to play early in the season. He's probably gonna get benched a lot in the second half of the season, because again, you're gonna save him for the bigger games. So this is probably where he gets his early minutes in. So yeah, I do expect him to play here. Thank you for sticking along to the end. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. Help the channel out a ton. I'm so close to 300 subscribers, but which is my goal for the August now. I don't know if I can reach it, but be kind to me, like and subscribe, help me get there, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.